I'd like to welcome to the show today, Michael Schatte. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Fabulous. So, the newest album, Back the Vikings. I was wondering if you could tell us about the title of that song and the reason why you decided to use that song title for the album.
Sure. Turn Back the Vikings is, as you say, it's both a song and the title of the record. I'm a fan of history, and whenever possible when I'm writing songs, I like to try to work a historical allusion into my lyrics. And in the case of Turn Back the Vikings, it's, I suppose, a bit of a metaphor. It's not literally about the Vikings, though a quick glance at the lyrics might make you think that. It's actually a metaphor for the Vikings, historically, of course, plundered and pillaged, and the song is about people on the internet plundering and pillaging artistic works for free. So that's where the title came from, and why is it the title track? I just thought it was a kind of a cool name.
Okay.
So
be a good name just for the album as a whole.
I thought
some
so.
attention.
It's attention getting, and it has a certain ring to it, which I liked. So.
Yeah. Now you have a master's degree in history.
I do. Yeah.
So tell me about the journey of kind of going through that academic career to deciding that you want to do music on a full-time basis.
It's a good question. I've often asked myself that and wondered why I've taken the path I've taken. Basically, I started playing professionally at a very young age and continued to play music all through high school. By the time I got to university, I'm kind of a risk-averse person, so I wanted to have something to fall back on academically, and I went and did a business degree. For a time, I actually thought I wouldn't pursue music full-time, and my other big interest is history. So that's why I ended up in the master's program. However, while I was doing that, I was still playing music, I was still writing music, and realizing that I wouldn't be happy doing anything but music. And that's why I'm here today. I think I did my degree, I finished it in 2009, might have been 2008. At any rate, I moved up to Toronto around 2009, and I've been here ever since pursuing music.
Right. The pride and joy of Chatham, Ontario.
Oh, well, that's kind of you to say. You'd better ask them.
So growing up in Chatham, did you have a big influence from the sound coming out of Detroit? Would that have been where a big influence came from?
Not particularly. I did listen to the radio out of Detroit, but I've never been a big radio guy. My dad had a huge CD collection when I was growing up, as well as a large vinyl record collection. So, I'm the kind of person, I think, that likes to attend an album and listen to it from start to finish. So the radio, of course, is giving you a little, a song at a time from different artists. That's great too. For me, I always, I just found more influence from full albums, and my dad's record collection included blues, Celtic music, rock, classical, and that was really, foundational for me.
So you got exposure to a lot of different styles of music, it sounds like, at home.
Yeah, yes, I did. I mean, I always like to say I have a short attention span when it comes to music. I like to work in a lot of different genres because I'm a fan of a lot of different genres. As a guitar player, I love country guitar playing. I love blues guitar playing. I love rock stuff. In the last few years, I've been listening to a lot of early music, medieval stuff. And you get some interesting ideas from that. It's a fairly exotic sound, but it's not to say you can't work it into roots music.
Medieval music?
Yeah.
Really? And where do you get access to that?
Well, you got to hunt around for it. Back when HMV in downtown Toronto had a big classical section, I don't know if they still do. I used to go there, and they used to discount all of these obscure medieval CDs. And, you got to have some medieval crumhorn in your collection somewhere. But I don't always listen to that stuff. I just find it interesting, and it's related very closely to to Celtic music and more contemporary stuff. So it's different, and I like that.
Well, I think when I listen to this album, though, there are a lot of different sounds that you've integrated into it. Like, you can definitely hear some Celtic and folk, and there's a rock. There's a lot of different influences I can hear throughout the various songs on that album. Was that? Did you intend to make a blues album?
No, I mean, I love blues. I grew up playing a lot of blues in my adolescent years. But I really, though I love traditional blues, like I listened to John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf a lot when I was in my teens. And I still listen to that stuff, but I realized, having played it for several years, that I wanted to expand it a little bit and work in some of the other genres that I really like. And one of the artists that helped me to do that is my all-time favorite guitarist and songwriter, Richard Thompson. Now, I mention him because he's been a huge influence on my guitar playing and on my songwriting, but he is this great synthesizer of different styles. Interestingly enough, he doesn't really play blues. He's avoided it, it would seem. In my case, I saw what Richard Thompson was doing. I said, that's wonderful. It's really quite an interesting, unique synthesis of styles. And I wanted to take a different approach because I have more of a blues background, and that's what you're hearing on the Turn Back the Vikings album. Now, the other interesting thing about Richard Thompson is we were lucky enough to have Simon Tassano out of Austin, Texas, mix the Turn Back the Vikings record. Simon works very closely with Richard and has for the last, 30 years or more as his live sound engineer, but also doing some studio work for him. So that was a real coup for the album because Simon's an incredible engineer. And, I think the sonics of the album are a testament to his work.
Tell us about the first song that you're going to play today.
The first song is a brand new one, which we just nicely recorded in the studio. It hasn't been released yet. It'll be on the next album. It's a song called The Upper Hand. And if you listen to the lyrics, it's a slightly humorous song. It's about the always awkward situation in just about every relationship where one person, for whatever reason, they're better looking, they have more money, there's a power imbalance, and they have what we call the upper hand. So in the song, the main character, I guess from whose perspective I'm singing, thinks that he's got the upper hand over his woman named Tessa.
Okay.
There's a bit of a story there, yeah. And it's not autobiographical.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Our viewers love when we talk about gear, and you've brought 2 guitars with you today. So I was wondering if you could maybe give us a little profile on each of them.
Absolutely. I'll start with this. This is the newest guitar, and it looks like I'm all caught up in my stand here. This is a Fender Telecaster, which I've had for about 3 weeks. However, I found it, I've been moving inexorably toward a Telecaster for many years. Always wanted a good one, and I finally found one. This one is kind of a cool looking instrument. I'd never seen anything like it. And it's got some features that I really like, and I've already named it. It's called El Fuego.
And how did you come up with that name?
My girlfriend speaks Spanish, and she suggested it because El Fuego means the fire. And so it's got kind of a fiery finish, as you can see. And yeah, I love it. It's a great guitar.
And why did it take you so long to find the Tele that you liked?
I've gotten very picky in my old age.
Okay.
I think any player, the more you play, the more you think about your tools. And you can think too much about tools, by the way. I'm probably guilty of that. But the more you play, the more you do refine what it is you're looking for in an instrument. The funny thing is, you can think you've found it, and then you play some gigs, and the sound is different in every room. The feel is different. Your mood is different. The humidity level is different. And all of these things affect playing. So what I've tried to do is find guitars that really have a great sound and on average play really well live. And so far, I've done about 8 gigs or something, or maybe 6 gigs with this, and I think it's great. So yeah, it's nice to have access to good instruments. The other guitar I brought today is also a bit of a looker. Mm-hmm. This is a Gretsch 6120. Nothing too special about it. I think it's maybe a 2008 guitar.
And its name?
Brian. A little less romantic. Brian is a little homage to Brian Setzer, whose guitar playing I love, and this is, he plays a Gretsch 6120. I think he has several originals from the 50s in his collection, but this one really sounds good, and it's got a very acoustic tone. Mm-hmm. You can get controlled feedback on stage quite nicely, and then you got to have the Bigsby. Mm. And yeah, so this has been a bit of a workhorse for me in the last few years.
And how long did it take you to find this one?
Well, I'd been flirting with hollow body electrics for some time. I guess I was looking for probably about 10 years for a good hollow body. And I thought it would be an ES335 by Gibson, but as soon as I saw this, I thought, I was thinking about Brian Setzer, and I was thinking about Chet Atkins as well, whose name is on the pickguard.
Right.
And mostly for me, it wasn't so much about the look, though I love the look of the guitar. It's more about the unique sound. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a Bigsby equipped guitar, so that's just a sound that you can't get out of anything else. And the Gretsch does it the best. So.
Did you record the album with this guitar?
Yeah, I had this guitar. Okay. Well, I used several guitars on the album. This is on the cover of the album. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the album cover is, it's me holding this guitar. Everybody thinks that's a photo. That's actually a colored pencil drawing done by 2 very talented twin sisters out of Kingsville, Ontario, Allison and Lauren Knight. Mm-hmm. And that's a colored pencil drawing. It's amazing. It looks like a photo.
Actually, I did know that because I know the brother Andrew.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So
yeah.
That was great. And that's just a funny story about how they drew that picture, because they actually started from the outside and they drew in, right?
That's right. And
because they're identical twins.
They're identical twins. They do everything together, including art. And yeah, they did a great job. Actually, underneath the CD tray on the Turn Back the Vikings album, you can see the original picture placed beside, they're halved. You see the original picture right beside their drawing, and it's pretty marvelous how close they are.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very talented.
It's nice to have talented friends.
Yeah. And tell us about the song that you're going to leave us with today.
And the second tune is a song from the Turn Back the Vikings album. It's been, I think, a favorite of people who come to our live shows. It's called Pistol on Her Pillow. And it's a very bluesy tune. that again is about, there just aren't enough songs written about relationships. So I had to add a couple more. Pistol on Her Pillow is one of those. I suppose it's kind of funny too. It's the opposite. So in the upper hand, the guy's got he thinks he's got the power. In Pistol on Her Pillow, the woman with the pistol on her pillow, who keeps a pistol on her pillow, is the chorus. She's got the power. So there you go, gender equality right there.
Fabulous.
Through 2 songs.
Great. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. And I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, and commenting on the podcast. And I want to thank Michael as we leave you for the last song, so don't go anywhere. The last song is coming up, and thank you so much.
Thanks so much for
coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
All right.
Yeah.
Just a filling in. Well, I'll be the one who's making those moves fall. Get it and I'll throw you in, yes sir. Jumping lightly with her, sleeping lightly with her. Little girl keeps a pistol on her pillow. I'm scared of her, I don't dare leave her. Little girl keeps a pistol on her pillow. It's a dangerous world out there. A man could use a friend, a pistol, a woman. Now either could do, but together they'll be my end. Yes, sir. Jumping nightly with her, sleeping lightly with her. Little girl keeps a pistol on her pillow. I'm scared of her, I don't dare. A pistol on the pillow, jumping nightly with her, sleeping frightly with her. Little girl keeps a pistol on her pillow. I'm scared of her.
If you want to hear more great Canadian blues acts, go to bluestribe.ca.